Good morning, everybody. It's Jane from Surface Anthology and Chalk Mercantile. Happy Monday! Yes, Monday. We're in the middle of August. Here we are. I wanted to show you guys today how to create what I call a tea stain effect with paint. I'm going to be using paint and a product called Antiquing Glaze. I want to show you how to do that. Before I do that, I want to congratulate, I'm looking at her name, Deborah. Her last name initial is P, so Deborah P. Congratulations on winning the Metallico paint giveaway. When I did the raffle, it did not collect first and last names. Hey, Sandy. Good morning. Thanks for joining me today. But the raffle app that I used didn't collect first and last name, so I didn't know who it was, and you really don't want to share somebody's email to congratulate them. But she got back in touch with me this morning, so congratulations. Hey, Amanda. Yay, it's Monday with Jane. Woohoo! Thanks, you guys. You're joining me over on YouTube. I hope you'll enjoy this. This is actually the first step in a project, kind of a Halloween thing I want to create. I'm usually not a big Halloween decorator since my sons are all grown, but now I have a grandson who's 5, so it's the perfect age, though this is going to be a little sophisticated. He'll love it anyway. If it's scary, he loves it, right? The other thing I wanted to say, 2 more things. All my Makers Studio products are still 50% off, and there are a bunch of things still left. So if you go to chalkmercantile.com, my shop, you'll see it. Just put in a Makers Studio and they'll all pop up. And remember, last thing, the new Iron Orchid release is coming. My order has been in now over 6 weeks. So it will be coming to my shop. It's holiday. It's limited edition. So once it sells out, that's it. But I have it coming. So as soon as it ships, I'll let you guys know. All right, let's get painting, right? Mondays with Jane and painting. I wanted to create for this project. Now I got these 2 of these. I go to Goodwill. Do you guys go to Goodwill or the equivalent? But I found these 2 wooden plaques. And I'm like, oh, these will be perfect. But I wanted to create not like a clean backdrop for what I'm going to be doing to this, because I want it to be a little aged and scary. So the first thing I'm going to be using is DIY paint in my favorite color. I use it all the time. It's vintage linen. If you saw that ironing board I'm doing that I've got to add some color to, oh my God, it's like my husband walked by, he goes, Jane, that's nice, but there's no holiday color. So I've got to do that. But I use this as my base. Yeah, oh my goodness, Amanda, where are you? Amanda's saying it's tough to get into Halloween when it's going to be 107. That is crazy. That is crazy. Amanda drank a lot of water, right? Holy cow. I hope that heat wave, that's a crazy heat wave. I hope it breaks really soon, Amanda. That is tough. I'm one of these people in Connecticut. I'm like, you know, when everybody else is moving south, I'm ready. I said to my husband, I really want to buy a place in like Maine or Vermont, you know, like some little tiny little cottage. Because the heat is just not my thing. I did live out in California for a while in Marin, in San Anselmo, and it was beautiful. But you know what they say, it was a dry heat, right? There wasn't any humidity. It was just really beautiful. And if you go into San Francisco, it's just cold all the time, which I love. Okay, so I'm putting down a coat of this. And I'm going to be working on it while the paint is wet. I did a little test before, and I don't think it makes much of a difference if the paint is wet or dry. Southwest Washington, that is crazy. So Marin is below you guys in California. Wow. Amanda just drink a lot of water. Telling everybody plant trees, right? Because the trees absorb the heat, and they obviously they shade. You should see me, you guys, when I'm in a parking lot and it's hot, because the heat puts me in like the worst mood. And I'm like, couldn't they plant some trees on all this tar, you know? And you see everybody fighting to find a tree to park under. So yeah, I'm all for that. All right. These plaques are great. When you go to Goodwill, just walk around. They always seem to have like these crafty things hanging on the wall. And always in like packs, right? Okay. I'm really blobbing it on the edge because there's the grain here, and I want it to really go in that grain. Now, DIY paint is a clay-based paint. I love this paint. And it can be reworked, I call it, you know, wet distressed. Even after it's dry, if you add water, you reactivate it. So you have to be really wary of that. Like I did something the other day in our membership. I totally forgot and I was reactivating. It was fine, but I was like, oh my God, there it goes. Put your brush in some water. I'm working out of the jar because I have like 1/8 of an inch left. Otherwise don't, because it could grow mold and do all kinds of bad stuff. Now, here's this stuff. If you haven't used it, let me see if I could push this down. This is called Antiquing Glaze. If you took my antique finish workshop, I used this, and I also show you how to make your own. This one is by Amy Howard at Home. It is in my shop. If you've taken my workshop, I give you the formula. It's really easy to make, but it's an all-natural stain, and it smells like tea. So I think it's got, you know, like walnut shells, tea, other good stuff. Pour some of that out. It's just like water. And then I take my little brush. This is just a little natural bristle brush. Dip that in, knock some of that off, though it won't be bad if I get big blobs. And I just, you see me, I'm just kind of hitting it around. Now it's nice to kind of make this irregular, as if it was a piece of paper getting stained, right? And the more I hit the brush, and you're not seeing it, but I'll hold the plaque up in a second, I'm getting finer and finer spray. And let me show you, this is just the first pass, and I'm gonna dry it because it looks very different when it's dry. So there it is, and this antiquing glaze is sitting on top of wet paint. Now I'm gonna dry it. When you're using a dryer, remember, you can push these little puddles of liquid around, so be very wary of that. Let me show you quickly. Here's my little test that I did, right? And it gets this beautiful, like tea. It looks exactly like tea to me. But I'm going to do this over and over. And the other thing I wanted to show you, I just love this, and it looks really kind of like I just did it, but I'm gonna do a few more passes. But I want to show you something else that you can do with this. I have a natural bristle sponge, a sea sponge, right? Which you see me use over and over. I love these so much. And you can dip that, and look at that, it just absorbs all of it. These are incredible. If you haven't used a sea sponge in your painting and creating, it's time to get one. They're inexpensive and they're amazing. But you can then tap on your antiquing glaze. And you have to, I'm turning the sponge because you want to keep it moving. You don't want to have that 1980s kind of sponged look, right? Let's add a little bit more to this one. Let's do a second pass. Squeeze out my sponge. And then my plan is, I was thinking about doing birds, right? Like crazy, oh, I don't have it right in front of me, but the birds mold by Iron Orchid, but painting them black and having them kind of flying across. And yes, you can use this technique on a piece of furniture, absolutely. Right? Let me dry it real fast. Now let me show you, I hope you can see this. Hey Wendy, everybody's on YouTube today. Here is the one, and if you look, it's really bright, I think. It's kind of washing out my tea stain. But this is just with some droplets and then using the sponge with the antiquing glaze. Oh my God, I almost called it crackle glaze. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful way, let me squeeze that out, to build up this tea stain look. Now I'm just gonna quickly add a little bit more. The birdsong mold, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here's the thing I did the other day, but I was thinking about having these birds in black though, because remember this is Halloween. These birds kind of flying across this very tea-stained, spooky, you know, background that I also might add some, I don't know, either some stenciling or some decoupaging. So I'm going to take this sponge now and I'm turning it and walking it. We just don't want it to be even all the way around. That's what, you know, we want to avoid. It wouldn't be very interesting. And I can tell you what I'm going to end up doing, because these I'm probably going to do more, you know, separately off camera, because these I really want to be dark. You know, this molding that's going around. So you turn that sponge, right? And then let's do one more. Where's my little brush? And you just layer and layer and layer. And you could do it one time and be like, okay, right? I love that speckly goodness. It is. If you do it just one time, it's not going to have that kind of developed, you know, patina we like. So, and it only takes you a few seconds. Do it a bunch of times, because it's so worth the effect that you get, and it's really, really easy. You can also, I think, Wendy, you've made your own, like antiquing glaze, I think with tea, right, or coffee. You can use tea and coffee. The thing about the antiquing glaze that's so great is that it's transparent. And that's what we want. We don't want anything that's like, you could water down paint, but it's still going to have that opaqueness to it. You want something that's really, really transparent. So you see what's going on here, what's happening, right? What I'm going to do off camera, so I don't torture you, is I'm going to keep on keeping on, do probably a couple more times with the sea sponge in the antiquing glaze, right? And then also do some more splattering. And remember, because I'm using the DIY paint, if there's an area that's too dark, or actually I could show you right now. I can wet distress this. It's so easy, right? You just come in, but the reason I'm not going to do that to this, and it's just wiping away the stain, is that I have pine. But if you were to stain your pine piece a really, really deep dark color and then wet distress, that combined with the antiquing glaze and everything would be beautiful. I'm not going to do too much of it because I've got pine, but you can totally do that and really get a lovely, lovely look. All right, you guys, this is the first part of our multi-part tutorial. Yes, Wendy's saying she brews strong tea. Absolutely, right? And I bet, Wendy, you can adjust the color maybe by adding coffee to it or some other thing. We just want to keep it as transparent as possible. So try this, you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got I'll find my birdsong mold. And then I want to have these birds kind of swooping by, maybe have some black branches or something. I'm not sure yet. But these are not going to be golden happy like they are now. They're going to be black and foreboding for Halloween. So thanks, you guys. Remember, the IOD is coming soon. I have had mine ordered for over 6 weeks now. So stay tuned. If you're on my email list, make sure you're opening those emails, okay? Because you'll see me putting promos in there. Raffle, like the raffle, by the way, and congratulations. I got the name today of the raffle winner. It's Deborah. So Deborah, and her last name starts with a P. Congratulations. And also remember the eMaker Studio is still, it's going to be 50% off until all the stock is gone. So head over to chalkmercantile.com and check it out. All right, you guys, I'm going to continue to do this, and I will probably be back here tomorrow and do some more and for the next step. Thank you, Sandy. You have a good day too. You too, Wendy, Amanda, Sandy. Thanks so much for joining.